Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass. The Chris Jones contract holdout details have emerged, Steve. Simplest terms, he lost. Let's talk about it.
Before we get this show started, we appreciate you for watching. Hit that sub button if you haven't. Hit that like button to help us out a little bit. Mike, let's hear these details, man, we've all been wondering about.
Yeah. Albert Breer reports this morning. Full detail on Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones' one-year deal. Base salary of $19.5 million minus his $1.08 million week one game check. He will get $1 million incentive for 35% playtime. That's guaranteed. $1 million for 50% playtime. That's pretty much guaranteed if he stays healthy. $1.25 million for 10 sacks. $500K additional for 15 sacks. $1 million for the first team All-Pro and Super Bowl appearance. So I think he has to do both of those, or it's $1 million each. Either way, $2 million for Defensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl title. Steve, this is a loss by Chris Jones. This is a loss by the Katz brothers. This is why Chris Jones was holding out, so he could possibly make $800K more this year. That's it.
Embarrassing.
Mike, I know that a lot of us were down on Brett Veach during this whole negotiation, and we were like, dude, let's get this done. Let's get Chris Jones on the field. We need that guy. But now I see why Brett Veach does what Brett Veach does. He sat there, he held strong, he did not blink, and he won this by a freaking long shot. I mean, the thing about it is, Chris Jones, all that holdout, all of that, like the reputation loss,
right,
everything else for this,
it was bad.
That's not what he wanted to do.
It was bad. Look, the Katz brothers got taken to the woodshed by Brett Veach. And look, I said last night on the live, maybe they were just trying to get something out of Brett Veach that Brett Veach didn't have. He couldn't cave anymore. He was like, look, this is all I got. I can't cave anymore. And so It makes Brett Veach looks like a master negotiator. But I'll say he negotiated.
Today, Junior?
Masturbated? I don't know. Either way, Sport Track comes out and says Chris Jones started 2023 with $21.25 million to be earned. $20 million and a $1.25 million incentives. He now carries a $16.4 million net base, factoring in his $2 million in loss fines, with $6.75 million more possible. All this for a chance to earn $1.8 million more this year. We've had better holdouts. It looks like the Katz brothers and Chris Jones is getting just drilled over this, Steve. As they should. This was horrible.
Makes no sense, man. He could have been in all off season with the team, getting in quality time with these new guys on the defense. He was in a better situation. And it was reported, Mike, that he actually turned down $70 million guaranteed on a different contract. I don't know what the heck went wrong here, but it went horribly wrong for the Katz brothers and Chris Jones. But either way, man, this is a plus for us as Chiefs fans and for the Chiefs organization. And Chris Jones has to come in and play balls out like he did in the combine.
What the hell?
Because he's really going to want to hit these incentives to make his money, man. He's got to come out here and play. And now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder and to prove a point. So I think he could have a big year. All this could work out good for the Chiefs, man.
Well, he's betting on himself, but he's betting on something that sometimes you don't. You can't control health. This all comes down to, can Chris Jones get 15 sacks? He's only done this once in his career. Is that guaranteed?
And he's already lost a game here.
Right. Albert Breer actually comes out and says this, for what it's worth, I don't sense much lingering acrimony between Jones and the Chiefs. After going to the game on Thursday, Jones stayed in KC over the weekend. He's scheduled to take his physical today and finalize the deal. He's saying there's no hard feelings there between the Chiefs and Chris Jones. But this entire holdout accomplished one thing. Well, two things. I'll give you two things. One, the Katz brothers are horrible agents. Chris Jones should fire them immediately. So the next time up, there should be different agents there negotiating on his behalf. And number two, this got the fan base, the city of Kansas City, to turn against Chris Jones. I don't know if Chris Jones is going to win them back the way he had them. And so that's all he accomplished, I believe.
I think it just depends on the individual person. The people that are out on Chris Jones, that had no patience with it, that didn't see it from his side, he's never winning those guys back, Mike. It's over as far as that goes. But Brett Veach actually said the two things that he could say about this entire negotiation was that Chris Jones, in fact, wanted to be a Chief, like 100% wanted to retire a Chief, and also that the Katz brothers worked diligently on
Today, Junior.
that the Katz brothers worked diligently on behalf of Chris Jones.
Did they? Hey, they can work diligently, but they stink at their job, apparently. Nick Jones come out with this. This is all the likely to be earned. You can pause it. I'm not going to read it again, but it comes out to be $4.75 million total. Not likely to be earned is $2 million for DPOY and Super Bowl win. Lost $500K on his workout bonus. Mini camp $98.7K fines. Training camp $2.25 million. Base salary $1.083 million for the game loss. He lost an estimate of $3.9 million. So this year he can only gain $819,000. All this holdout, missing an entire game, $819,000. Ridiculous. But a lot of people are asking, well, does he have maybe he won a little bit. We talked about this. Maybe he won. Maybe he don't have a tag. Maybe they can't tag him. Jeremy Fowler reports Chiefs' new deal with Chris Jones does not include a no franchise tag clause. So the team reserves the right to tag him in 2024.
Right.
He didn't even get that. So what's the tag number? James Palmer comes out and says if the tag is used and with Jones' cap number of $27 million, that would be roughly a franchise tag of $32.4 in 2024, a 120% increase. But that was wrong. He was corrected by Jason from Over the Cap. His base tag value would be $30.55 million. It will be based off of his base and existing proration. The incentives would carry over. Steve, $30.55 million, salary cap hit next year if they tag him. The Chiefs aren't tagging him next year. Everybody that says they're going to tag him, Chiefs ain't going to tag that guy. There's only been 2 guys tagged in the NFL over $30 million. That's Dak Prescott. That is Lamar Jackson. That is a QB tag number. I don't see the Chiefs tagging Chris Jones for $30.55.
Yeah, I really don't know about that, man. But let's look at the flip side of this. Maybe if you look at the positives for Chris Jones, it's the fact that he does not have to play for his just base salary this year at $19.5, which is something that he didn't want to do. So now he has the opportunity, I think, to make $25.16667 million this year. That's how much he could possibly earn if he hit all marks on his incentives. So that would be quite a bit of a raise for him. So I can see where he would be a little happy that he could earn more this season. Also, if negotiations weren't going well, now they're in a position to where he can try to renegotiate an extension after this season and kind of start fresh, maybe with new agents. Like you said, get rid of the Katz brothers, get somebody that knows what the heck they're doing in here, see if they can renegotiate something to keep him here long term and make him happy as far as pay goes. But it really hinges on his play this year, man. But that cap hit, 30 point whatever million dollars, highly doubt they're going to do that. I think they either rework something out after this season for an extension, or it might be bye-bye Chris Jones.
Right. Well, it was kicking the can down the road. You're going to look to next season, maybe this entire offseason, this entire season, Brett Veach can start making some moves for life without Chris Jones because it caught us off guard this year. They couldn't do it. So I would look at that. I want to know if there's a trade clause in it this season. Could we see Chris Jones by week 8 be traded out of KC? That's insane if that happens. This could get crazy, but I will say this. We do know that Kansas City needs some cap space. We projected this last night. We said they're going to have to do something. I thought they would re-sign Joe Thuney, maybe restructure that a little bit. Jared Sapp from Arrowhead Pride, I believe, turns out I predicted wrong and Jones doesn't have a void year this year, meaning KC will need cap space ASAP. He expects at least 2 of Kelsey Thuney and Justin Reed to be restructured this week. I didn't think it had to be that extreme. I thought you could have got it done with just Joe Thuney, but can Kelsey, Justin Reed, we mentioned Justin Reed last night, but do we want to make Justin Reed a long-term asset knowing that he's really not hit his full potential here? I kind of want an out in that one. Maybe they'll set that up. Who knows, but do you think something gets done this week? Because the Chiefs do need some cap relief.
I think they're going to get something done. They almost have to. It's just where will it come from, man? Joe Thuney seems like the most likely suspect to me. Travis Kelce, how many times can we mess with this man's contract before he gets irritated? And then on top of that, like you said, Justin Reed, you want to leave an out there because he hasn't performed up to par. He hasn't exactly came in and took over that honey badger role they were really hoping that he could do. So we'll just have to wait and see, man. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but something has to happen soon. Because right now, they are negative cap space.
Right. Well, another win with Brett Veach in this contract. Pete Sweeney reports clearing something up here regarding to the Chris Jones new contract with the Chiefs. All incentives added to this contract after the season begins becomes not likely to be earned. So in other words, every one of those incentives that were added into this contract, if Chris Jones hits them, does not count to the cap this year. It counts to the cap next year. So Brett Veach swindled out another good job this
Knocked
this
it out
time.
of the park with this one, bro.
I think Brett Veach won. It's 1-0 Veach over the Katz brothers. I think if we've learned anything, Chris Jones soured himself in Chiefs Kingdom. He got not a lot to show out of it. I think he lost. The Katz brothers, they saved face with a little tucking their tail between their legs. They'll run back off to the mafia wherever they go.
Right.
I don't know if they did a good job. This holdout was pointless.
Pretty much, man. But like I said, it all hinges on his play this year, what the future is for Chris Jones in Kansas City. Like you said, he could be traded before week 8. He could play really well this year, hit all them incentives, get the money, make him happy, get a restructure with the Chiefs after this season. There's a million different possibilities. But right now, like you said, Brett Veach won this one, knocked it out of the park for the Chiefs and Chiefs Kingdom. And yeah, that's going to be it. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell. We'll see you next time.
There goes a sight from my soul.